So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Good evening, everyone. I hope we're all well on this cold Tuesday evening. Just me for the moment. Neil will be on very, very shortly. As I said, I hope you're all well. I tried to get in as early as I could just before the team announcement. Yeah, it's a cold day here in the west coast of Ireland, and it's a cold day in Leipzig by all accounts. Everybody was tucked up inside a nice warm pub, and I have to say, the only song I could see on social media all day was the Matty Cash song. I hope he's playing tonight for all of those new fans that he has. The team is in. I'll take you through it now. We have Matty Cash is playing. So they were all singing his name today. He is playing. So he's got, now. Martinez, Cash, Carlos, Conza, and Pau Torres. Luca Dean, Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, Rogers, and Watkins. So he has decided to play three centre halves by the looks of it. Or has he decided to play Matty Cash further forward in that McGinn role? What do you reckon? Very strange one. So Martinez, Cash, Carlos, Conza, Pau Torres, Luca Dean. Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, Rogers, and Watkins. Let me know what you think in the chat there. Somebody saying I'm a bit low. Let me check that I'm on the right. Check my audio for you. Everybody see him okay? Yeah, I seem to be on the right one. Maybe I was a bit too far away from it. Cash right wing is probably how I see it. Just Roy says, someone show Paddy how to show his screen. It's like watching my nan at a cash point. Sorry about that. I'm trying my best without the expert in tow. Yeah, look, it does seem to me that it will be Conza right back, Carlos and Pau Torres in the middle, and Luca Dean on the left, with Cat wide right. You've got to think it's McGinn off the left, Kamara and Tielemans sitting, with Rogers behind Watkins. And probably a 5 out of possession. Who knows? Yeah, I'll run through the subs for you while I'm here. We've got Olsen, Gauci, Nedeljkovic, Bogard, Matson, Mings, Svinkels, Onana, Barkley, Buendia, Philogene, and John Yader Duran. So, what do y'all think? Are you all with me on that? That it's it's Conza right back. It certainly seems that way to me. I can't see it being a back three. Could be completely wrong, but let me know what you think. Big shout out to the young Lions today, who I had kind of given up hope and was heading for the shower in injury time, and they scored 2 goals to come and beat Leipzig 4-3 today. So it was an enjoyable watch in the end. Cat Cannon, do me a solid. There's your team in full. It's a surprise. I think everybody was expecting to see Philogene in there because that's what he seems to have done over the last while. But look, maybe Philogene was on his last warning and didn't get enough work done at the weekend. Cat has also put in the subs there. Fair play to you, Cat. Olsen, Gauci, which is the first time that's happened in a long time as well. Nedeljkovic, Bogard, Matson, Mings, Swinkles, Onana, Barkley, Buendia, Philogene, and Duran. So a lot to choose for off the bench as well. What else have we got here? Dave says strange team, would rather have Matson than Cash if either in midfield. Also Mings over Carlos for me in a 3. Yeah, I don't think it's a 3. I think it's a 4. And obviously Matty Cash can fill in there and do a good job for us. So if needs be, they probably sees him as a better defensive option than Philogene. Considering what we're up against, we'll get to the RB Leipzig team when we get a chance there. Yeah, Gibbs says saving Mings for more physical Forest. Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right there. Darren says they are strong left wing. Given Cash and Konza, certainly looks that way. Rachel says very defensive, not many in midfield. Yeah, well, look, it's to me it seems like it's just our normal midfield. I could be wrong. He could play wing backs as Bear in the Garden is suggesting here. David Dams says interesting lineup. Matson could be important from the bench. Looks solid. Hoping it's a 5 with wing backs and not, as I've just said, Konza right back and Cash right midfield. English with Richard Parks, not even a 5 at the back. So he says, turning it off. Carlos needs to keep his mouth shut and not get sucked into the antagonism like the preseason game. Yeah, my son was reading out something that was said in an interview by Openda to that there was nothing personal. I think that's just the way he is. He fights with everybody. He'd fight with a shadow, I'd say, on any given game. So I'm not expecting too much hassle. I'm sure Unai Emery has said not to let him get in your head. Kevin says it's a gamble unless you've worked on this in training. I'm pretty sure they have. Rachel said she means the subs bench. Yeah, I think we're light on recovery there if anyone was to go down, but albeit you do have McGinn can step back in there and Onana to do it as well. So we're not too bad. Scott says looked like Emery is more willing to change his system than start Jaden. If it is a change of the system, I don't believe it is. I'm open to correction, obviously, when we see them lined up. I think Matty Cash, who has played there for Notts Forest, he has played in the middle of midfield as well for Forest. So he's well used to trying out those different positions. Nicole says, I don't mind this, but I'd like to see Buendia get a start. I think everybody's the same with that. They're all wondering what he's got to do to get in there. Matthew Bambrick says it's an away Champions League game. It's not a 5, it's 4-4-2. Cash to provide extra cover and noise. And nothing more or less, just simple and obvious. Oh yeah, I think that's my overriding thinking of what he's done here. Evan says need a massive game from Ollie. His work rate is incredible, but he needs to work on his close range finishing. Yeah, you're preaching to me now, who's been saying that for a long time, both on and off this podcast. Kevin says he'd preferred Matson in this system as a left wing back. Yeah, a lot to be said for that. And as somebody has said there previously, it could be a game for him to come off the bench and do something special. Carrie says, Paddy, now that Neil isn't here. Oh, I hate that the way to start the question now. Is Duran by 2, by 3, or by 5? The natural. I think that's a bigger debate than that. I think Duran is still very, very raw and not finding the positions he needs to find. So for me, yes, he probably is a better finisher, but is he getting into the positions what Watkins is? Somebody sent me today the league table of big chances missed, and Watkins is obviously top of the table with I think 15 big chances missed, 2 ahead of Erling Haaland, but obviously not 2 ahead of him on the goal scored either. So it definitely needs to improve. Watkins' finishing needs to improve. I keep going back to that goal he scored against Holland at the Euros. He should be absolutely full of confidence, and for some reason he isn't. Cat Cannon says McGinn left, Cash right, Rogers 10. Yeah, I think that's fairly straightforward. Kevin Hunter, how you doing, my old mate? Sensible lineup, plenty of protection on that right-hand side for Cash ahead of Konza. Yeah, totally agree with you there. There is plenty of protection. Kenneth has said he would like to see try Mings and Powell. Nothing wrong with 2 left footers. Yeah, as a left footer myself, I agree with you there. We were well capable of doing it. I even played right centre back as I got older as well. It's the modern day football. Everything has changed. Everybody is looking at analytics more than the game itself, which is why players are reluctant to take chances and give the ball away anymore. It's sanitized the game a good bit for us all, but this is the modern game, and we're going to have to get used to it until it changes again. Owen says, hopefully Rodgers on the left and McGinn in the middle. Super John McGinn has done better there recently. Yeah, I agree with you. He has. It could change. He could change it in game as well, which leaves that option there. Beer Diddly Deer says Buendia isn't the answer. A lot of people saying that too. I don't think he's the answer down that right-hand side, but he could certainly be the answer if a lock needs picking and a through ball needs playing, and he is a hard worker. Whether he's up to this level now after his injury, nobody knows as yet. Luca is saying Leipzig are playing 3 at the back. Let's see if I can get the Leipzig team up here for you. I obviously can't put it on the screen, but I will see if I can find their team announcement. RB Leipzig, they've made that easy. Okay, so they've gone with Gulacci, Hertrauda, Orban, Nusa, and of course they've put them all in number order just to make life difficult for me. Openda is there, Seawald is there, Baumgartner, Vermeeren, Sesko, and Henriks. So the 2 up top anyway in Sesko and Openda. Could that be that we're gone for a 3 at the back? Possibly. Maybe that's what he expected. Let's just wait and see what happens here later on. It's going to be a tough game. It's not. They're not going to be any pushovers by any stretch of the imagination. Richie Ryan says, has anyone watched Leipzig? Yeah, I've seen a couple of their games recently. Baumgartner, as we know from watching the Euros, is a decent player. Openda, while he is a nasty little shit, he can certainly score goals as well. And Big Sesko in attack are their danger men. Goalkeeper quite strong but partial to a mistake. Hertrauda, who we tried to sign in the summer, who was virtually done and dusted, is now one of their best players. And I would have loved to have him playing instead of Diego Carlos, but that's just my opinion. What else have we got here? Ian says, it's refreshing to see you and I change it up. For a time, I felt he got stuck with 2 players for each position. For example, Ramsey McGinn on the left. So good to see McGinn move into the 10. Yeah, it is to see it. It absolutely it absolutely is good for him to see him. And look, we have such a strong squad. It's a good we're well able to mix it up with what we have. Carrie, thanks me for saying that. Fair play. Jared Dunleavy, Cash to pop up at the back post and score again tonight. Yeah, I'd say you'd get decent odds on that. We might have a look at it when we're ready to go. Philly is going for a 2-1 win. I think we have more of the ball tonight. We might do in this setup. Absolutely agree with you there. Kieran says, if you're offered a draw now, would you take it? Kieran, if you offer me a draw now and no injuries, I would probably take it. But it's going to be a guts game. I think so. For that reason, that's why I don't want any injuries tonight. Because in a game like this, it's very easy to pick up silly injuries. I think Neil is trying to get in there, which give my Brett a break here. I think he's on the way. Joystick Media, 10 goal contributions in 16 Premier games. Give Watkins a break. Yeah, look, there's pros and cons, but how much better could his stats be if he's taking those chances? So Carrie says Watkins leads the league and missed chances and can't create chances on his own accord, on Watkins' own accord. What am I missing? Look, we'll save that one for another day and see how he gets on here tonight. Kevin fancies a cash goal as well, scores in bunches. Yes, he does. Neil, I don't know whether you're having problems getting on or you need me to add you to you. Nod your head there if you need me to add you to the stream. You can't hear me. I can see him there, but I don't know whether to add him or not. He's all right. 2 minutes, he said. He's on the way. We're going to park the Watkins Duran debate for now. John Doran says, I think the Leipzig left back is good. Maybe Cash is to keep him quiet while Villa work on our left side. Possibly so. Rachel said she'd take a draw if offered. I think that's what you're saying there. Yeah, you've repeated it there. Pajo says Buendia and Duran might be key later on. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to go into the Duran Watkins. I know there's a few of them there. We'll see what happens. Cat Cannon is saying Leipzig is a 4-4-2 according to BBC. Dinny, how are you doing, my old mate? We'll take a draw all day long up the Villa. Yeah, I think away from home against a good quality German side, I think we would take a draw. Absolutely. Neil, how are you?
Surprise, motherfuckers! I'm here. I've been here for a while. I haven't been able to get everything sorted.
That was the first swear. You left me on my own for 17 minutes and then you come in and swear straight away.
Look, hey, someone has to do it. We're contractually obliged to swear at some stage in the podcast. But isn't it just fitting that, Team Sheet Tantrums, I've been stuck. A lot of family stuff happens around 6:45, bath time, bedtime, all that kind of stuff. But wouldn't it just be my luck that I've been driving the 352 train? Or the three at the back train, or 5 at the back train, or whatever you'd like to call it, for the last however long, probably the last 18 months. And then I'm not here the day that it looks like it's 5 at the back. I was the first person that wanted to play 3 at the back / 5 at the back, whatever you want to call it. So my reaction to it was, I actually read the team once and I went, no real changes. And then I went, wait a minute.
Hang on a minute.
Carlos, Konza and Pau? What's happening here? What's happening here? Now, look, if Pau is playing defensive midfielder, like some people are suggesting on Twitter, I will scratch my head. Never mind shake. I won't shake my head because I don't think there's any wrong decision currently at the moment that could be made, I suppose, when you're trying to change things up, because it's always okay to try things. But to me, it just looks like we're going to have Cash and Dina on the wings. And if they're playing a 4-4-2, as I've said previously before, I think that this could play into our favour. Attack with 4, attack with 6, defend with 4, and maybe Kamara comes back into that back line and see what way it works. But it's going to be interesting to put an extra bit of flavour to this game, I think, seeing how Villa go. If I'm not mistaken, Paddy, hold tough a minute. Let me see. WhoScored.com. Villa played 3 at the back against these lads in pre-season. Am I going nuts there? Was it not Lamar Bogart, Diego Carlos, and someone else, and Pau Torres, maybe, or somebody played three at the back against this crowd in
You got me there. I have no
pre-season.
idea. Watched it at 1 o'clock in the morning and regretted it for 2 days afterwards in my old age. But people are generally
I think I
of
was
the
in the sauce and I
consensus.
watched it.
They're obviously at given their opinion that Cash is replacing Bailey in a straight swap is what people are saying in the comments, and that's
Maybe.
that's not. Yeah, that's what I think is the case. Obviously, we both have spoken both on and off here that a three at the back could be the way forward. But yeah, that's what we're thinking is happening here.
Yeah, it should be three at the back, if that is the case. But I'm just trying to see here. Yeah, like, look, I think that's the most uninspiring. Not because it's Matty Cash, don't get me wrong, but we've had shit wing play since the season has since the season has started. So look, maybe he does his Burnley trick and scores there, but I can't imagine Luca Dean is going to stay home too much if we've got that four at the back and we've got Matty Cash on the right hand side. So we'll see what it looks like. It's much for muchness, as I say. I'm not complaining about selections anymore because I've been on record as saying that we have to try something different, and he tries something different. So fair play to him, and let's see what way it works. I just am interested to see when Villa played Leipzig. And of course, it won't give me any lineups for that pre-season. But it's yeah, I can't get the lineups there. But I'm almost certain Lamar Bogart played as a centre back that night in a back three. I'm thinking, yeah, definitely put money on Matty Cash scored. He scored recently as well. He scores in bunches.
He's not shy about taking a shot either. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. He was. Remember, we used to criticize him, not criticize him, but we used to give out about the fact that he never burst into the box with the ball. He still doesn't burst into the box, but he gets on the end of crosses now. So that's fair. That's good from my point of view, I think. I'm a bit surprised not to see Onana in there. That was one I thought would be the case, that we'd see Onana in there. Yeah, the Cash could be on the wing for sure.
And here we go.
It is Cash at right wing. Okay. It's uninspiring, but I'm not against it.
I don't know where Max has heard that, whether he's been interviewed already, but there you go.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going for Lost in Translation as right wing back. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for Lost in Translation. But it's still a case whereby Richard Edwards says Matty Cash played right wing at Forest. He did, and he played central midfield as well at Forest as well for a period. Yeah. So he's that's actually I think where he made his bones at Forest. But he's on Amazon just now. Okay, I must turn it on. But yeah, look, just go and fucking win. I don't care if you've got Doris the Tea Lady in central attacking midfield. Just go and win. Like, that's where I am with this game. This is one where you win this game today and Monaco becomes a free hit. Celtic becomes a celebration at home.
For both of them, I hope.
Yeah, for both of them, says Paddy. Yeah, but you win this one, you're on what? 13 points? 13 points should get you qualified. Then you play against Celtic last day of the season at home. You'd be hoping you get 3 points from that as well. That puts you on 16. I'd say 16 gets you automatic qualification directly straight through into the last 16. I would imagine, but you have to win today, and I think today is the one that they want to win. I think today is the one that they will try and earmark. It's not going to be easy. Leipzig are going to want to score goals. They're not going to want to go winless in the Champions League.
Well, I think today decides whether we're contenders for top 8 or not, because there's a good chance we win the last 2 games. So if we go and win tonight, I think we're in a really good position. So yeah, if we go and get the win tonight, I think everybody will be really, really happy. It's easy to say that Leipzig are sitting there on no points. Yeah, but they won't want the piss taken out of them either. They will want to go and spoil the party for us. And there's nothing more competitive than an old-fashioned England against Germany game. So let's see what happens.
Paddy, there's actually some late breaking team news. I don't know if anyone's known, but there has been a slight change. Doris, the tea lady, is actually suspended for tonight, so she won't be coming on in the central attacking midfield position, like I just said there. Just said there a moment ago. So Jar has just confirmed Doris, the tea lady, will not be playing today for Aston Villa. So, yeah, you'll get yourselves refunded in any of the betting apps if you put money on her to score first. That's for sure. Peter Collins, is that the real Peter Collins? Are you Peter Collins RTE? The fellow look a bit like Nick Cave. No, that Peter Collins. Leipzig manager saying we're simple to figure out. Let's see you and I flip the script on him, or as Gary Neville says, designs a game of football. Leipzig says we're simple to figure out. The Leipzig manager says, okay, we weren't too simple to figure out for Bayern Munich, who absolutely trounce Leipzig every year they play them. So just
it's big
might as well
talk,
fire one
big
across his
talk
bows.
from a manager that's lost all his games in the Champions League. So
big talk from a manager as well. Yeah, Marco Rose, who's a good manager. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I think that one again is. I'm going to put that one down to lost in translation, like Matty Cash playing wing back as opposed to winger was too. I think that's what I'm going to put it down to, because he never really strikes. Marco Rose never really strikes as that type of guy, should I say.
They did lose the Arne Slot one in translation as well, and what he said actually made a whole lot of sense, but the media decided to say that he had figured out Unai Emery's way of playing. But yeah, take with a pinch of salt, and we'll do the talking on the pitch, hopefully.
Marco Rose is steeped in Leipzig. Just for those of you that don't know, he is Mr. Leipzig. He was born in Leipzig in 1976. He played his youth career at Rotation Leipzig, which is a fantastic name for a club, Rotation Leipzig. And then went on to play with the old VfB Leipzig. And obviously they're defunct, and now he's RB Leipzig. Are VfB Leipzig still defunct, or did they come back under different guys? They came back under different guys. Yeah, they're still there. Yeah, Lokomotiv Leipzig, they're called now. Yeah, that's who he is when he's at home, and he's very much so is at home tonight, considering he was born in Leipzig as well. If you guys can't tell, I'm in a great mood for some strange reason today. But there were talks as well that Marco Rose would go back to Dortmund. That Dortmund were potentially looking at making a change at manager again and bring him back. But who knows? As I say, he was brought through the Red Bull academies as such. Managed at Lokomotiv Leipzig, then moved on to Red Bull Salzburg, then on to Borussia Mönchengladbach, Borussia Dortmund, then back into RB Leipzig then as well. So yeah, that's where he is at the moment. Very much Leipzig association with Marco Rose, the manager, who said that we've been we've been easy to figure out, I think.
You didn't call it Leipzig, did you? I certainly
didn't.
No,
I've called it Leipzig. Leipzig, yeah. There was something else there I said there. But anyway. Peter Collins, no, not that one. My dad named me after a British F1 driver. The family legend goes, yeah, well, Peter Collins used to do the RTE F1 coverage as well. So I'm still not ruling out that you're the actual Peter Collins, and we'll get you on the show if you are the Peter Collins. Well, you are the actual Peter Collins, but the Peter Collins we know from RTE TV, the greatest sports presenter on RTE TV as well. And I will have fisticuffs over anyone who says any different. Paddy, their team is out. I don't know. Did you go through their team? Did you?
I did briefly, but it was in numerical order, of course, when I called it up.
So it's so it's Galaxy, Hertruda, Orban, Seiveld, Heinrichs, Baumgartner, Vermeeren, who I said might start. I didn't think he would. I thought he'd come on. He gets the start in midfield instead of, I can't remember who he's. Oh, instead of Campbell. In there, and then Haidara is in there. Nusa, the speed threat on the left hand side, is in, and Sesko and Openda up top. They've only named 6 outfield defenders, but I suppose the big one there, or sorry, 6 outfield players, should I say? The big one is Klosterman is on the bench, and Seivald is in there instead at centre half. He's 23-year-old. He's 23-year-old Austrian centre half. To be honest with you, he's a defensive midfielder usually. So if they're playing him in at centre half, it's maybe Klosterman is injured or something like that, or coming back from an injury. He's 30 games for Leipzig, 30 league games. Very much a defensive minded player. He's about 5'10", 5'11". Now maybe he's making that transition that Fabinho did with Liverpool, going back into the centre half position to be more of a ball player in there. But that's a really interesting one that I'm interested to see. To see how that one pans out, because he does have Willie Orban there beside him, who's obviously going to go up for everything in the air. Maybe he's looking for somebody a small bit more, how will I put it? Maybe a small bit more mobile, maybe a small bit more progressive, I suppose, than another big lumping centre half that could be in there beside him. Not the Klosterman is that kind of player. Like, that is an interesting one on me. He could be going to treat back. I doubt it. I doubt he is, but he could very easily be Gertrude coming in there. Maybe Gertrude plays as the right centre back. Maybe Seaval goes to right back. Maybe Baumgartner comes back to right back. Maybe Seaval goes into midfield. There's lots of permutations in here, with regards to the way they could play. So yeah, that's a really interesting turn of events for him. But he has played 4 Champions League games this season, and yeah, he's really not known for being a centre half anyway. So I'm interested to see how they go about playing him there today. Paddy, you popped up there about Ali. Did Ali score in Leipzig?
That's what I'm just checking here.
Sorry, Roger questions. Why question Peter Collins, but I'll question if I'm the real Roger Moore? Because you would have slept with me, I'd say, if you were the real Roger Moore. Because everybody is Roger Moore's one of the most. I'd say he has some record in that area, I think. But yes, you could be the real Roger Moore, and welcome aboard if you are, Roger. I loved you in Octopussy. Between Roger Moore and Michael Richards. Yeah.
The Euro semi-final was played in Dortmund, so it wasn't this stadium. But Germany should be a happy hunting ground for him, so he should be buzzing tonight. So we're going for a Matty Cash goal and an Ollie Watkins goal.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. As I say, this is what. Yeah, and a Rodgers goal as well. Why not? If the three of those guys score in bunches all the time, I'd be happy with that, because that means we scored 3 goals. But look, I suppose being realistic here, and I'm very giddy because I've just been doing bath time with the kids there, and they were in great form. But I suppose being realistic in this one, look, I think you want to go and win this game. You win this game, it gets you 13 points. And I think that's huge. The Baker's dozen will get you very far in this competition towards going to the next level. Is it going to be an easy game? It bloody well is not going to be an easy game. Their strike force is lethal, and their midfield is very mobile there with Haidara and Vermeeren. I'm really, really big fan of Vermeeren. I didn't work out for him at Atletico. Maybe it was a Simeone thing, but I'm really interested to see him play tonight. 19-year-old Belgian, just in case you guys aren't aware of him, very highly rated, and I agree with that high rating. And also Nusa on the left wing is a nuisance, and he's going to be tough sledding there, and that's why I would be very surprised. Ali, or what you call him, Matty Cash on the right wing, I can see him being very withdrawn. I don't see him being like in a tree behind the striker, and maybe he's there specifically for Nusa. So let's see. Yeah, it's all to be written in the next 43 minutes just before kickoff. But it makes sense that Matty Cash is there from the point of view of trying to create a buffer zone there, or try to have somebody who can get back with Nusa, maybe not from a pace point of view, but knows the defensive game. Putting Philogene in there against him might be a step above where he is currently at the moment. But then again, Bayern Munich proved that he can live with pacey, fast wingers. So look, who are we to question from this point of view? Get out of there with a win at any cost, and I think that's just really the menu for today.
Yeah. I think we're going
there he is, Paddy. Jesus, Paddy, that was really insightful. Yeah. I'm not saying anymore. We're nearly good to go. Everyone wants to pop. If you want to start popping in your score predictions there, Paddy, I don't know. You have to jet off to go to the pub or whatever, but pop in your score predictions there. And while you are doing that, give me 2 seconds because there is something that I want to
You have to shout out
I want
somebody,
to
haven't you?
pop up here. Yep, I do indeed. So what I wanted to do is look, it's coming up to Christmas, and everybody will want to get something pretty Villa related for that Villa nut in your lives. If that is the case, we have what I was going to say, the guys at Division Retro. I don't know if you guys know them. Some of you guys might know Samir. You might see him around Villa Park. You might have met him. They have official Henson licensed gear. I actually have one of their jerseys that I bought. It's here somewhere. Ah, yes, I have it here. And I got it, and it's incredible quality. Sorry, I got really close there. It's incredible quality. It's proper licensed Henson stuff there. You get €20 off or 20% off everything with the code Retro20. But if you want to help the podcast out, you can use McGrath20 as well, and that will help you. I think it's more than a 20% discount, but if you use McGrath20, if this is something you're interested in, the Henson shirts are there. You've also got the Henson hoodies that they've had previously are on the go there. You might have seen, I have one of those hoodies here as well somewhere that I might wear in the post-match. But yeah, they're pretty cool stuff. If you guys are interested in getting anything, these are all licensed products from Henson, so they're not your normal or they're not a cheap knockoff or anything like that. They're licensed straight from Henson, and the guys have the proper qualifications for that as well. So give them a shout out or give them a look, shall I say. They're called Division Retro, and if you use McGrath20, you'll get 20% off there, off anything on the site. So
Excellent.
Just wanted to give those guys a shout out.
Well, I actually wore it on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, you have it too.
I mean, this lovely yellow one. Yeah. I
Very
bought
good.
I bought a bit of their stuff. We actually met Samir over in Villa Park. Not last year. It was last year. We met him the year before as well, and that's how we got to know him. And he told me he was doing this, and I said, "Well, listen, look, we just want to help out fellow Villa fans. Anything we can do for to help somebody with their products and make a livelihood, well, then absolutely we can do that." And as I say, those they're all licensed there, and yeah, give them a look. See what you think, and get your loved one something nice for Christmas. So we have some. Where are we? Some scores. Ty Doyle is going with 3-1. Paul McAllister is going 2-0 to Villa. Bolg is going 1-0 to Villa. Richard Edwards is going 2-1 Villa. Where else are we? And we're settling for a 1-1. I think that I haven't given any prediction yet, but every time I thought about it today, I was settling on that, but I'm a bit more optimistic now. Owen McMahon is going 1-0 Villa. Captain Nuggets going with 2-1 Villa. Richard Parks is going 5-3 Villa. Max Hunter 3-2 Villa. Jordan Levy 2-1 Villa. 2-1 Villa says Nicole as well. 2-1 says Michael Richards. Dan Downey's going 1-0 Villa. Elizabeth's going 2-1 Villa. 1-1 says Mark Willis. Dickey is going for a Duran winner in the 80th minute. 2-2 says Dave Dwyer. 3-0 says Bertie, with John McGinn getting on the score sheet there. Dave Dam says 3-1. Pajo is saying 1-0. 2-2 says Carl Halpin with Pau scoring. That'd be an interesting one. I'd say you get good odds on that. Sewer Sounds is saying, and Snooze Fest at 0-0 could very easily be. Cat Cannon is saying 1-1 as well. Andy Brogan's going 2-1 Villa. Declan Bagnall going for 2-0 to Villa. Guinness Nitro 1, Leipzig 0, says Sufi Mark. As long as Leipzig score no goals, that means we can't lose. So I'm happy enough with that. Adam B is asking, what's the discount code again? It's McGrath20. All lowercase for McGrath as well, by the way. All lowercase. PJ Coyne is 1-1. Pete Collins is saying we win 2-0. 2-2 says Greg O'Connor. Keith Kelly is saying 2-0 to Villa. Ryan is going 3-1 Villa. Paddy, did you give your prediction yet?
I didn't, and I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
You're going to go 1-1 draw, and I'm going to go with Aston Villa to get an away win in Europe, which is something that they don't do very often. And I'm going to say that Aston Villa are going to win 2-0. Why not? As I say, I'll never get these right anyway. So the day that I do, I'll be the smuggest man in the parish. So it's going to happen at some stage. I know it is. So yeah, look, this is very much it's very much a game that could go either way. Like Leipzig are not as bad as the results in the Champions League. We're not being cocky by any manner or means. We're just being fans. But it's a game that could go anyway. And yeah, Paddy, I was just about to ask you that. Who's the ref tonight?
Maurizio Mariani from Italy, a colourful character, and we've had plenty of them. And I don't. The sign up there talks about corruption. I want you all to make up your own mind, but go back and read about the guy who refereed our last outing against Juventus. He only came on my radar when all those questionable decisions were happening. But he had a big falling out with Jude Bellingham last year. If everyone remembers, he blew the whistle as the ball was going into the back of the net. So he's not very liked in Spain.
No, it was Declan Rice. Declan Rice, wasn't it? As well had a big blow up about him.
Real Madrid.
I think Rice had something to say about him as well. Anyway, we won't. We won't get into it. So you're saying a colourful Italian referees tonight. To be a lot of pointing at the whistle, looking for authority, and a lot of doing this when people are giving out to him. Proper European football. Look, hey, we won't give out about it. That's proper European football when you see refs going at that crack.
Yeah.
It is great. Right, we're going to be back with a post-match again at 9:55, or bang on the final whistle, whichever is closer. And we will see you then. So Aston Villa obviously on their way towards and they're hopefully on the way towards qualification. With a win this one, it's very likely they will be qualified. So yeah, let's hope for that, and let's hope we see you back here at 5 to 10. And we're celebrating another great Aston Villa win in Europe. And I suppose you have to go. Oh, I thought you were saying you need to say something.
Fingers crossed.
Just fingers crossed. Yeah, but so listen, everybody, go and get your drinks and your snacks of choice. If you're in Leipzig, well then fair play to you. There seems to be massive parties going on over there. I think I've seen about 15 or 20 videos, and every single video they've been at different times, different pubs, and they've been singing the Matty Cash song. So maybe that's a good omen for tonight for Matty Cash.
Except for Alan McAnally, who switched it up a little bit with his rendition of My Old Man.
Yes, actually I forgot about that one. Alan McAnally, and it looked like they're having a ball over there, and it's just like neither of the two of us were supposed to be going anyway, so neither of the two of us are feeling pissed off over that. Sure, we're not, Betty.
No,
but anyway, less said about that the better. Less said about that the better. Right, go leave you all, go in, get yourself settled, get yourself into your print on the couch, and make sure that you're ready to cheer on Villa. We'll see you again at roughly around 5 to 10 for the post-match podcast. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.